Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that's, well, everywhere in our lives: technology.
It really is unavoidable these days.
Totally. We're going to explore its growing presence and really dig into what it might be doing to our minds, our well being,
It's such a critical conversation. We feel so connected digitally, but what are the hidden costs? What's happening beneath the surface?
Exactly. And look, we know you, our listener, you're curious, you want to understand this stuff, get some real insights, but maybe without getting totally overwhelmed.
Right? No jargon, just useful information.
That's the plan. So, our mission here is to explore how tech can kind of subtly mess with our brains and give you some practical ways to find a healthier balance.
We're pulling from some interesting places, blog posts looking at nutrition and brain health, articles focusing on the wider impact of digital devices.
Okay, let's dive in. How exactly is all this tech affecting our minds? One thing that jumped out at me from the neuronutrition blog actually was this idea of isolation. Like, we're interacting online all the time, but are we actually spending more time physically alone?
It's a fascinating point, and you have to think about the quality of that isolation, or rather, the connection. We might have tons of digital chats, but do they really scratch that itch for a deep, face-to-face human connection? Probably not always.
That makes sense.
And the source mentioned something about kids growing up with loads of screen time, maybe struggling to recognize basic emotions, like joy or sadness in faces.
Wow.
Yeah, it really highlights how important those subtle in-person cues are for learning social skills.
It really hits home, that difference between just interacting online and true connection. Okay, what about addiction? That's a big one.
Oh, absolutely.
The idea that every like or retweet gives us this little dopamine hit, almost like a drug.
Well, it is chemically similar in the brain. Dopamine drives our reward system. And the thing with social media and notifications is the unpredictability.
Ah, right. You don't know when the next one's coming.
Exactly. That variable reward schedule, it actually makes the dopamine response stronger, more compulsive checking. It basically hijacks that reward pathway.
So that explains why it feels hard to pull away sometimes, like withdrawal.
Precisely. Those uncomfortable feelings, that urge to check your phone when you try to cut back, that's basically digital withdrawal kicking in.
Okay, wow. It's not just the social media buzz, though. That neuronutrition piece also talked about stress, just the stress of keeping up.
Yeah, the constant updates, the feeling you're falling behind if you're not constantly plugged in.
It's exhausting.
It really is. Our brains just didn't evolve for this pace of constant change and information flow.
And the physical effects. The article said a stressed brain can mess with blood sugar, even if you eat well.
Yeah, it's like stress hormones can interfere with how your body handles glucose. The source called it a super absorbent sponge for blood sugar.
Huh.
And long term, chronic stress. Yeah, that's linked to all sorts of health problems, mental and physical.
It's like this low-level hum of impact, isn't it? Okay, shifting slightly. Information overload. The Brain Docs blog mentioned this.
Oh, yeah. The endless stream. Notifications, news, emails, updates.
Just feels like noise sometimes. Hard to focus.
It's classic cognitive overload. Your brain struggles to filter what's important. It gets tired just from making constant small decisions about what to pay attention to.
Decision fatigue. I've heard of that.
And the sheer volume of digital info just piles onto that mental load.
And related to feeling drained.
Yeah.
What about social comparison? Scrolling through Instagram or whatever?
The highlight reel effect.
Yeah. Everyone seems to be living these perfect lives and you just feel inadequate. I know I've felt that.
It's incredibly common. We see these curated, idealized snapshots and often unconsciously compare our messy reality to their polished image.
Right.
And that can really chip away at your self-worth, setting up totally unrealistic expectations.
Okay, and then there's sleep. This one feels universal. The blue light from screens messing with melatonin.
It's a big one. The science is pretty clear here.
So our phones are basically telling our brains it's still daytime.
Kinda, yeah. That specific blue light wavelength suppresses melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. So using screens before bed makes it harder to fall asleep. And the sleep you get might not be as good.
And sleep is crucial for, well, everything. Mood, focus.
Cognitive function, physical health, you name it. So disrupting it is a serious issue.
And it's not just our brains taking a hit, our bodies feel it too, right? Eye strain, neck ache.
Yeah, visual eye strain, dry eyes, headaches, blurry vision that's common, and musculoskeletal issues from, hunching over phones or laptops.
The dreaded tech neck.
Exactly. Plus, more screen time often means less moving around. Sedentary behavior has its own long list of health risks.
Okay, so hearing all this, it might sound a bit bleak.
A little overwhelming, maybe.
Yeah, but the good news is our sources also talk a lot about the benefits of doing something about it, like a digital detox.
Right. Which sounds intense, but it doesn't have to be.
So, what exactly is a digital detox for anyone wondering?
Basically, it's just intentionally setting aside time where you cut down significantly on using your digital devices. Could be a few hours a day, a weekend.
Okay.
The goal is just to step back, reset, and build a healthier relationship with tech, not necessarily ditching it forever.
And the general benefits sound pretty great. Less stress, feeling refreshed.
Reconnecting with the real world, getting time back.
Yeah, reclaiming time. And maybe figuring out your priorities again, like hitting a reset button.
That's a perfect way to put it. And the specific benefits are really compelling when you break them down. Things like, obviously, better mental well-being,
Less stress, better mood. Sign me up.
more mental clarity, definitely, and improved focus and productivity. You mentioned feeling your attention span slip.
You really have. It feels harder to concentrate deeply.
A detox can help sharpen that focus again. And better sleep is almost always reported. Limiting screens, especially before bed, it makes a difference.
Deeper, more restful sleep. Makes sense.
Then there's strengthening real-life connections, actually talking to people face to face.
Instead of just scrolling through their updates. Yeah, that feels really important for like actual belonging.
It's fundamental. You invest more quality time in relationships. It helps you feel calmer, more present.
And that social comparison thing we talked about. Stepping away from the endless curated feeds.
Right. It can give your self-esteem a real boost. Less comparing or appreciating your own life, a better self-image.
That's huge. And physical benefits too. Less eye strain, fewer headaches.
Relief from those aches and pains. Plus, less screen time often means more active time, which is good for overall health.
And cognitive stuff. Better focus, memory.
Yeah, potentially improvements in attention span, concentration, how you process information, even retaining it better.
Wow, it sounds like it unlocks a better version of you. And creativity too, personal growth.
Absolutely. When your mind isn't constantly bombarded, it has space to wander, to be creative. You might pick up new hobbies, reflect more deeply.
Creates mental space.
Exactly. And just becoming aware of how you spend your time online can lead to better time management.
Okay, sold. The why is clear. Now the crucial part, the how. How do we actually do a digital detox and make it stick?
Right, the practical side. The sources had lots of ideas here.
They mentioned short breaks versus longer term changes.
Yeah, it's about finding what works for you. Short breaks mean totally disconnecting for a set time, an evening, a day off, complete switch off.
Okay.
Long-term reduction is more about tweaking your overall habits. Maybe deleting one draining app or only checking email at certain times. Sustainable changes.
And maybe mixing them, like a weekend off tech sometimes, plus daily limits.
Often that combination is most effective. Start small, build momentum.
One practical first step they suggested, making a list. Like actually writing down your devices, your apps, how much time you think you spend.
That awareness piece is key. Just acknowledging it. And then, importantly, make another list.
Yeah.
Things you enjoy doing that don't involve screens.
So you have alternatives already.
Exactly, those healthy habit replacements. Have a book handy, plan a walk, get out the craft supplies, whatever works for you. So you're not just sitting there bored, reaching for the phone.
Makes sense. Avoid the void.
And that start low, go slow idea is really smart. Don't try to change everything at once.
Too overwhelming.
Yeah, you'll likely burn out. Pick one habit like no phone for the first hour of the day. Stick with it for a week. Maybe add another. Let your brain adjust.
Like only checking email every 2 hours, maybe.
Perfect example.
Awesome.
And sleep hygiene. Again, that simple rule. Devices out of the bedroom overnight.
Seems like a non-negotiable for better sleep.
It removes that immediate temptation. First thing and last thing. Creates a buffer.
What about accountability? Telling someone.
Super helpful. Find a detox buddy. Share your goals. Just saying it out loud makes it more real.
Yeah, support helps. And there are more structured ways too, right? Like scheduling screen time, using apps.
Definitely. You can set specific hours for, say, social media. And yeah, there are apps that track your usage or even block certain sites or apps after a set time, using tech to manage tech.
A bit ironic, but useful. And tech-free zones at home.
Big one. Designate the bedroom, maybe the dining table, as completely screen-free zones. Reinforces those boundaries.
And rediscovering non-screen hobbies is obviously key. Reading, gardening, cooking.
Anything that engages you differently connects you to the physical world. And practicing mindful consumption.
Meaning.
Just pausing before you pick up your phone and asking, why am I doing this right now? What's my purpose? Breaks that automatic habit.
Reduces mindless scrolling
Got it.
and physical activity.
Crucial. Counteracts the sitting, boosts your mood. Win-win.
And for a bigger reset, a full digital sabbatical, like a whole weekend off.
If you feel you need it, yeah. It can be really powerful for gaining perspective.
Paying attention to how using your phone makes you feel. That seems important too.
Very insightful. Noticing the triggers. Am I bored? Anxious? What leads me to pick it up? Understanding those emotional patterns is step one to changing.
Right. And if you feel it's more like an addiction, maybe scheduling specific check-in times.
Yeah, or keeping the phone physically out of sight during meals or when you're with people. Break the automatic reach.
Turning off notifications. Oh, the peace. Just the essential ones, maybe.
That alone can make a huge difference to your focus and stress levels. And making meal times and social time truly device-free.
Fosters actual conversation. Imagine that.
Right. And we mentioned apps, tracking usage, blocking access. Those could be good tactical tools.
Some people even downgrade their phones.
Yeah, switch to a dumb phone with limited or no internet. A more drastic step, but effective for some.
And telling your friends and family what you're doing.
Definitely helps with motivation and managing expectations, maybe even organize tech-free hangouts.
That's a cool idea. It really is a whole toolkit of strategies. Now, the sources did mention that it might feel a bit weird at first. Oh, for sure. Don't expect it to be instantly blissful.
Right. You might feel irritable, anxious, bored.
Yeah. FOMO, fear of missing out, can kick in. Boredom is common if you're used to constant stimulation. But here's the thing. Those feelings are usually temporary.
Okay, good to know.
They pass.
They tend to subside as you adjust. And then you start noticing the positive changes we talked about, the calm, the focus, the better sleep.
Right. So pushing through that initial discomfort is worth it.
Generally, yes.
Okay, so wrapping this up. The big takeaway seems to be technology is amazing, it has huge benefits, but we need to be mindful. We need to be intentional.
Exactly. It's not about demonizing tech, it's about finding a healthy relationship with it. And regular digital detoxes, whatever they look like for you, seem crucial for our well-being in this digital age.
Couldn't agree more.
And that brings us to a final thought, something for you, our listener, to maybe chew on. What's one small thing, really small, you could do today, maybe right up to this finishes? Maybe turn off notifications for just one app you find distracting. Or decide your phone stays out of reach for the next hour. Or just, don't check social media right before you sleep tonight.
One small step.
Just one. See how it feels. Notice the impact, however tiny. And maybe reflect. Which of those effects we discussed, the isolation, the stress, the overload, which one resonates most with your experience?
That's a really great challenge. Food for thought. We really hope this deep dive has sparked some curiosity, maybe some ideas for you to explore this whole area of digital well-being further.
Absolutely. It's an ongoing journey for all of us.
Thanks so much for joining us today.